just milking Marine Nationale at the start there for the last couple of minutes.
And Mark will make it by the look of it, you think?
I think Mark will definitely make it. And they won't let him off. They'll hope to follow him, but he will go to his left a bit, Majborough, so they'll all sit inside him.
Absolutely fascinating. The William Hill Champion Chase 2 Mile is away, and Majborough is just in front of Marine Nationale and Etait Temps. You suspect they're not going to give them much rope to fence number 1. Blood Destiny is just in behind them in 4, and Energumin is 5 as they race at 34 mile an hour up the hill to the start of the 2 Mile Champion Chase. The 11 fences ahead of them, and keep an eye on Majborough. The first is so important to set the rhythm. On the inside is Etait Temps, and he wasn't fluent, and Marine Nationale the one that gets away in the centre from on the inside Etait Temps. Already that changes Mark's plans. He's now got to decide what he does.
Yeah, well, riding is about reacting, and you have to react to where you land and where you are, and he's dropped Majborough onto the tail of Marine Nationale as they head to the second. Etait Temps is in a beautiful rhythm on the inside. Second fence now, Majborough a bit better, but that's just him, isn't it?
Down the hill they're going to go on towards fence number 3, and Etait Temps on the inside of Marine Nationale. Majborough sits third, and then behind them are both Blood Destiny and Energumin as they race down the hill. It is the Cheltenham champion, reigning champion chaser Etait Temps on the inside of the Punchestown reigning champion chaser Marine Nationale, who did the double last year. Majborough, the 6-year-old, is in third. Blood Destiny is 4, and Energumin, who's twice done the double and twice been the champion chaser, is last of the group. 3 champion chasers in one free field, and on the outside Majborough, he doesn't look fun to ride.
He doesn't. Etait Temps missed it as well, and he's dropped back into third place now. Majborough just is what he is. Marine Nationale, Sean Flanagan, I'm sure, is really happy at the 5th.
Much better there, and Etait Temps was a bit slow again there, and he's found himself in 4th. So Marine Nationale with Majborough, the two that take them along in front. Blood Destiny is 3rd, Etait Temps, that's back to 4, and Energumin has seen it all before. He's watching on from the back spot as they turn into the back straight on towards the line of 3 fences along this section of the track. Matching strides now is Majborough on the outside, Marine Nationale the inside, bidding to give Barry Connell a double on the day, a grade 1 double at that, as they go to the first of the 3 along the back, and they're going to take off together. Between them, back in 3rd is Blood Destiny. Etait Temps is on the inside, and last of all just is Energumin under Danny Mullins. So they go now towards the next, and it is Marine Nationale who's just got about a length of an advantage over that one from Majborough in 2nd. Blood Destiny, Etait Temps and Energumin as they go now towards the ditch at the end of the back straight, and Marine Nationale is going to lead out over it from Majborough in 2nd. Blood Destiny the inside, Etait Temps and Energumin as they go towards this one and taking it, and Marine Nationale, he's in a good rhythm so far.
He is, but it's a very different ride to we've ever seen before on Marine Nationale. They've gone really forward with him and sent him every step of the way. If you can keep this up, Richard, it's going to be spectacular.
Well, Marine Nationale leads them out of the back. They've 4 to jump. In 2nd is Majborough. He's not a champion. He's taking on 3 champions, and many think he can be. Towards the inside, Etait Temps just beginning to move right back into it under Paul Townend. Blood Destiny is next, and Energumin is last of all. 4 left to jump in the William Hill Champion Chase, and Marine Nationale. Majborough is going to try and go back up again on the outside. Both jump it well. Back in 3rd is Etait Temps, then Energumin, then Blood Destiny, and now he presses on again, Marine Nationale. Majborough's back in 2nd. Etait Temps still has plenty to offer. You'd imagine Energumin just poking his head up on the outside, and Blood Destiny is next. Majborough's asked for a bit of effort. There's distress signals coming there as they race towards the 3rd last, and on the inside Marine Nationale is over from Etait Temps, who's gone into 2nd. Majborough's back in 3rd, Energumin and Blood Destiny next. We've got a couple of champion chasers taking each other on into the straight at Punchestown, and it's on the inside Marine Nationale, on the outside is Etait Temps. They've gone clear, and they've gone well clear as they make their way towards the 2nd last. That's the difference from the best to the rest, and Etait Temps over on the near side, the far side Marine Nationale. It's been a brave effort thus far. Etait Temps got low. Marine Nationale sniffs another chance over on the far side, but Etait Temps has head down to the final fence. Back in 2nd is last year's winner Marine Nationale. He's switching. Energumin is 3rd. Back in 4 is Majborough. Final fence coming up. Etait Temps is over from in 2nd Marine Nationale, and they're so far clear of Energumin, and he's done it twice, Marine Nationale. He's done it twice, Energumin, but now Etait Temps joins the greats. He's a dual Spring Festival champion chaser in a race of champions. Etait Temps is the champion. Marine Nationale is 2nd, Energumin is 3rd, Majborough is 4, and Blood Destiny is 5. And Ruby, when you see 3 Cheltenham champion chasers and Punchestown champion chasers going by the line, it's a wonderful sight.
It most certainly is, Richard. Marine Nationale tried to serve it up to Etait Etait Temps. They changed the tactics on him with the cheap pieces. They sent him forward, but as the race developed up to the third last fence, Etait Temps just came on the bridle and arrived there with his ears pricked, and he wasn't fluent at the last two by any manner of means, Etait Temps. But look, that's 8 of his last 9 starts he's after winning. He's won the champion chase. He's won here in good fashion, but he just ranged up here with such class and power. Paul Townend got beside Sean Flanagan on the slight downhill run to the second last fence, and he went on Etait Temps. Now he puts down here and gets in underneath it, but never looks like falling, but just gets in deeper. You think he's going to wing it, and he changes his mind, but he keeps his hind end low and gets his front feet out really quickly. Paul sits into him to the last fence. Again, he's going to meet this on his shortest stride. You can't slow champion chasers down, so he just keeps squeezing him all the way in, shortens himself, flicks out through the top of it, and away he goes. Marine Nationale is trying hard in second, but he just can't match the younger legs of Etait Temps, who strides away to win. He's had a brilliant season from the Clonmel Oil to the Tingle Creek. He blew out in the Clarence House, but he collected it in the champion chase, and he's delivered a Punchestown.
He's tough. He came back from Ascot. He came back from his mistake at the top of the hill, and from there, once he began to make progress, he made great progress. It's Katie's first time to speak to Paul this week, but it's a Grade 1 champion chaser.
Sure, and Paul, absolutely brilliant. He's some horse, and he's not an over big horse, but by God, is he consistent.
No, he makes up for it in heart, doesn't he? So consistent, as you said. The only blip was in Ascot, but he's travelled plenty this year. He's travelled plenty every year, and he's turned up an awful lot of days. He's probably a horse that doesn't get the credit he deserves for the races he's won and the achievements he has. And as I said, he's not big, and we had one scare at the bottom of the hill there, and I just had to let him warm back into it then, but he went down and attacked the next couple of fences, and he's brave, isn't he?
We'll talk about that, because obviously Sean Flanagan rode his horse differently. And it was quite evident from the start, the way Sean was walking around the start. You kind of knew Sean was going to be handy. It looked like he wanted to be handy. And we know Marjorie jumps left, and Mark was going to let him roll. You got a lovely run down the inside, and you were kind of cat and mouse everywhere for the first, but then you made a mistake, and you just had to leave it off for a while.
I kind of thought when Mark didn't press on up here that it would be interesting what would happen when we jumped the second and ran down the hill. They can get keen down there, and I wasn't surprised to see him land on. And just upped the tempo a lot, and we're on a very long stride. He just went to change his mind a little bit and got away with it. Slowed us down, which is what the fences are meant to do, and not flip you over. So credit to them for that. But no, he's brave as a lion, and like Mark and Sean went a good gallop, like they're champions.
Yeah.
On decent ground, they went a good gallop, and like this lad was always going to stay, and I wasn't going to disappoint him when Sean had made a lot of use of his when it was an unknown, when he'd been ridden that way,
Yeah, well, when you arrived down then the back of the third last, you arrived on the bridle. You weren't brilliant at the second last and the last, but listen, Paul, he got the job done. He's after winning.
Do you know, we didn't need any heroics.
No.
So that was probably a lot of that. And you see him when he's approaching the fence, he's pricking his ears and looking for him, but he's a brilliant horse.
Brilliant. Last from was 8-9 at Tingle Creek in the champion chase. Absolutely brilliant. Obviously, Gaelic Warrior tomorrow, you must be pumped for that.
Can't wait for it. Put in such a huge performance in the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Taking on the fresher horse here is a little concern, but it's something we don't know till we try again. But my God, he was electric in Cheltenham. He likes it around here. So it's going to be a mouth-watering clash.
Paul, I feel like we have so much to talk about, and we've got English nationals, but I feel like this won't be the first time
we'll
I'm
have
going
another
to be
chance, Katie.
Absolutely.
Please,
I'll let
God.
you off. Paul,
Thank
well
you.
done.
Thanks, Katie.
Well done to Paul Townend. We just got confirmation that Energumen, the evergreen 12-year-old who finished third in this race, has run his final race. He's won 14 of his 23 starts. He's won this race twice. He's been a twice Cheltenham champion chase winner, and he's gone out in his shield there in the blue colours for Tony Bloom, for Willie Mullins. He was a fantastic horse, and he's gone out here with a round of applause in the third spot. But the first horse home, the winner's spot, is an 8-time Grade 1 winner. This is his 11th career win. Barry, now we have to start talking about him in serious terms. He was awesome today.
He was. Paul was brilliant on him as well, as he was in Cheltenham too. Paul mentioned that mistake he made at the third last, but he took him out of the race then. Let him get his feet under him again, and then went forward. Before he knew, he's at the fourth last, and he's back in the position he was in before the mistake. A brilliant piece of riding by Paul, as I say, both at Cheltenham and today. But a very, very classy horse. And it's funny, he seems to be progressing with every run, Jen.
Isn't it?
All the way through his novice year as well. Like he was slightly under the radar,
Even as novice hurdler, it was like Danny Mullins was riding him because Paul was riding a better fancied horse in the race.
Yeah, he finished 4th or 5th in the Supreme or something like that. I think. Like he was running at a reasonable level, but he's just progressed and progressed and progressed each season.
He's just a hardy bit of stuff.
We still don't know where his ceiling is. Like he was so good there. It was a phenomenal performance, because even maybe halfway round I was wondering, is he
even going?
Is he a bit flat?
Yeah.
Has Cheltenham taken too much out of him? Did that mistake maybe take him out of the race? But he got a phenomenal ride because Paul never put him on his head or forced him anyway. He always just let him get comfortable.
To circumstances.
He let him get into a rhythm, even after that little mistake that he did make early on. He just lets him find his feet. And the great thing about this horse is he's such a strong stayer at this trick, because he's been proven over further in the past as well. So he's always going to come good in the end.
Home. Yeah.
So it was interesting to see new tactics applied by Marine Nationale and them roll forward. Maybe Sean Flanagan was expecting that Mageborough would take them along at a faster gallop for a lot longer, but look, this winner, you can't knock him. He's just so good.
With the exception of that fall in Ascot back in February when he looked to be beaten, he's been so consistent, and he brought reasonable consistent form. He's upgraded again to winning consistent form at a top level.
He is Etait Temps. He is the champion chase winner at Cheltenham, and he's coming back to a rapturous reception here at Punchestown for Wayne and Krieg Kesvetter, for the Ross, for the Doyle family who picked him up at the sales. He has been a marvellous horse, a horse of a lifetime, and still only an 8-year-old. And he winning this race, an argument finishing 3rd, Mageborough finishing 4th, and Blood Destiny finishing 5th, means that Willie Mullins on day 1 of the Punchestown Festival has taken the lead in the Trainers' Championship. Gordon Elliott has led the Trainers' Championship for 51 weeks of the year, but this is Punchestown. It is 10% of the overall purse of the entire year, and we will look back at this race in full and see how it was done, because Barry, there was a lot of pieces at play, even for just 5 runners.
There was, and obviously Mageborough goes left at the first fence. You see him here untidy again, goes left, but Sean is pressing forward Marine Nationale. Now we see here Etait Temps makes that mistake, leaves his hind end in the back of that fence, and Paul just lets him slot in, get his confidence back, find his feet, get back into a rhythm. Marine Nationale pressing forward again, Lisa.
Yeah, and Mageborough there beside him, and you can see he does make a couple of sticky errors along the way, but he weakens tamely enough when asked for a bit of effort. Marine Nationale seemed to be rolling away happy enough at the front end, but in behind was his biggest danger, Etait Temps, who was beginning to find his feet, and the further he was going, the better he was going.
Yeah, he was getting back into the race easy, and at this point you can see it, Paul has pulled forward, and as he mentioned, no heroics needed, gets in, popped the second last. He was looking for a long one, but was only half committed. He got in, he popped it, and he was only doing enough here. You see Sean is throwing the kitchen sink in Marine Nationale. He's no more to offer. Paul knows he has it in the bag. A to B is all he needs. Chase him down, looking for one, says no, we'll just pop, gets across it, and away he goes, and he's a good winner, Ruby.
Yeah, it was a good performance from him, so it was. He was just the informed horse, wasn't he? And he brought his A game to the table, and he has delivered in really consistent fashion this season.
Yeah, he's tough. He's been to England plenty of times, and he's turned up every day, and he is your winner of the William Hill Champion Chase. And Ergumin bows out on his shield. Willie Mullins has him in spades down there in Clostutton, and the Champion Chaser has secured his Irish status as well.
He's a fresh horse too, isn't he? He came in from the moment he pulled up Etait Temps.
There's not much of him, is there?
Well, there isn't, but look at him. His ears pricked, he's a ball of energy. It looks like he could go around again.
He used to have the hood on as well. It's been, obviously he wore the hood in Ascot, but it's been left off its last twice as well. It doesn't look like he needs it at all now.